Hey everyone, today's video recap will be one of the most trending and popular South Korean war action film of 2022. It is Hansan, Rising Dragon, Korean, Hansan, Yongui Chulhyeon. The film was directed by Kim Han-min. The story is about the historical naval battle of Hansan Island, occurred from July 8, 1592. In two maritime encounters, Korean Chief of Naval Operations Yi Sun-sin's armada figured out how to destroy around 100 Japanese ships and ended Japanese maritime activities along the southern coast. It stars Park Hae-il, Byun Yo-han, On Sung-gi and Sun Yun-yo. It was released on July 27, 2022. This was a brief introduction to film, and now let's begin to dive into the plot and enjoy watching. Likes and subscriptions are highly appreciated. In June 1592, 1 month after the sea fight at Sachun, Daimyo Wakasaka Yasuharu shows up at the Japanese maritime base in Pusan to assume responsibility for the armada and counter the danger presented by the Joseon commander Yi Sun-sin. From a few frightened overcomers of the fight, he learns of a new, completely encased Joseon war vessel which they have named Bakaizen, after a sea monster from Japanese folklore, and Kurabun, blind ship. Notwithstanding, that commitment has uncovered a few basic defects about its plan. For example, the decent mythical beast head at its bow being inclined to stalling out in the wake of making a slamming assault, and its more fragile flank reinforcement. Wakasaka consents to combine efforts with the remainder of the Japanese naval force to guarantee an unequivocal outcome in their mission to vanquish Joseon and, from that point on, Ming China. At the Left Jela Naval Force Base at Yeosu, Yi gathers the Joseon chiefs of naval operations for a meeting about their impending maritime operations. Won Gi-yoon, leader of the Western Armada, contends for a guarded stand instead of a pre-planned strike, and after the Japanese firing of Pyongyang and the ruler's trip to Uiju becomes public information, different commandants start to concur with him. Subsequent to dreaming about his experience as a cavalry general against the Jurchen, Yi devises another methodology which he names Crane Wing, a bow-molded development intended to trap the foe from three sides. He likewise gains the admiration of Jinza, a samurai caught at Sachun after he had injured Yi with an arquebus shot. In any case, subsequent to distinguishing and following one of his representatives, a group of Japanese covert operatives find Yi San's base their detained kinsmen, harm the turtle ships with fire, and break with their development plans. Yi hustles to Suncheon to meet with the vessel's designer, Na Dae-yong, who is chipping away at a better variant, and proclaims that he won't involve the turtle ships in the following fight, realizing that Wakasaka will find and take advantage of their defects. Subsequent to gaining of Yi's expected strategy from the development plans and Jinza's declaration, and after getting fortifications by Kato Yoshiaki, Wakasaka's fiercest opponent, and Kuki Yoshitaka with sturdier, reinforced ships and guns, Wakasaka chooses to go on a two-dimensional hostile via land and ocean against the Left Jela Naval Force Central Command. Two of Yi's covert operatives, Lim Jun Youthful and Jeongbo Riem, are found, whereupon Wakasaka ousts Kato and Kuki from the collusion and holds onto their boats and weapons prior to embarking to set a trap for Yi at the waterway of Jienaeryong. While Lim escapes all alone, Jinza, who has at long last exchanged his loyalties, assists Jeong with conveying the insight about Wakasaka's arrangements to Yi. He then attempts to caution Jeonju, the stronghold covering the land section to the maritime base, yet is caught by individuals from Joseon's exemplary armed force. Despite the fact that his admonition is met with wariness, Huang Bok, the volunteer army's administrator, chooses to tie down the pass and welcomes Jinza to battle close by. After being educated regarding Wakasaka's developments, Yi chooses to draw him out of the Shadow's waters at neighboring Hansan Island. At the point when the Joseon Armada shows up at the waterway, Commandants Eo Young Dam and Leon Ryong serve as an enticement. When that falls flat, Yi sets out with the entire armada, provoking Wakasaka to assault. At the point when Won Gi-yoon's carelessness concedes the Japanese a break to charge through, Yi sends the turtle ships, which he has held for possible later use on Na's demand. After Wakasaka powers impair them, Yi sends in the superior turtle transport, empowering Eo and Lee to rejoin their lines and complete the crane wing. At last trapped in Yi's snare, Wakasaka's armada is shot to pieces. Wakasaka's final desperate effort to slam Yi's lead is thwarted by the new turtle boat, and he is injured by a bolt from Yi as he forsakes transport. Ashore, the honorable armed force is built up and effectively holds the pass, however Huang Bok kicks the bucket in fight. Following this, Yi proceeds with his mission for some time and goes after Angulpo and Pusan, driving the Japanese to suspend further maritime activities, prior to withdrawing back to his base. Chief of Naval Operations Yi's triumph at Hansan Island successfully finished Hideyoshi's fantasies about overcoming Ming China, which was his unique objective in attacking Korea. The stock courses through the Yellow Ocean must be open for his soldiers to have an adequate number of provisions and fortifications to attack China. In this way, Konishi Yukinaga, the leader of the group of troops in Pyongyang, couldn't move further north because of absence of provisions, nor could more soldiers be shipped off him since there was insufficient food to take care of them. It required 5 attempts the assets in food and men to move supplies through the land course over Korea's crude streets. Besides, moving supplies overland left them helpless against assaults by customary Chinese and Korean powers as well as Korean sporadic or guerrilla powers, the exemplary militaries, that were turning out to be progressively dynamic as the conflict advanced. After the clash of Hansan Island, and the Battle of Angulpo and no time subsequently, Hideyoshi tracked down an important to provide an immediate request to his maritime commandants to stop all superfluous maritime tasks and limit movement to the prompt region around Pusan Harbor. He let his officers know that he would come to Korea actually to lead the maritime powers himself. However, Hideyoshi was always unable to bring through on this as his well-being was breaking down quickly. After 1 year, Yi raises another base on Hansan Island, the site of their most prominent triumph up to that date. The Battle of Hansan Island was the main clash of the Imjin War. It guaranteed that all the battling would be in Korea, not China, and that Pyongyang would be the uttermost northwestern development of the Japanese armed forces. No doubt, Kato Kiyomisa's subsequent contingent's concise walk into Manchuria was Japan's northernmost development. In any case, Manchuria was not a piece of magnificent China in the 16th 100 years. It very well may be contended that the fight was one of the main in Korean history up to that point. My major motivation is your support, so please don't forget to like the videos and subscribe to my channel for more videos and updates.